Hey there! Thank you for joining me. In my previous video I showed how I set up this algae farm, and I also discussed the fact that the algae generators are kind of glitched. I kind of showed it in my video. Overall the video was, I think, well received, and I'm very happy about that. One of the people commented that for them the algae generators don't seem or appear to be glitched. So I wanted to kind of give that a little test, because the advice that was given to me was to actually put the autocrafter almost like a level higher than the algae generators on the water surface. So I'm going to try that. I actually did try that in my testing, and for me it never worked. I cannot really say whether this is going to work or not. I basically promised the commenter that I would post this video no matter what. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if it works, great, because then I can adjust my algae farms to make sure that it can produce forever. But I've tried it before, so we'll see what happens. So I'm going to build it in the same area. I created a little platform here with the autocrafter. This is only temporary because the autocrafter will go one level up, and the algae generators and also the water collectors I will put at the water surface level, of course. Alright, so I did plop the algae generator tier 2 in the middle here. So the foundation I have to adjust because I basically want the foundation right above it in the middle. Alright, let's try it this way and see what happens. Seems okay, so this is attached. So low as I can get it above it. And now we want to put the autocrafter here on the top. Kind of in the middle. Let me actually build a platform first. Alright. Again, kinda in the middle. So we have the algae generator down below, autocrafter right in the middle on top of it, and next we're gonna put down some water collectors, well within range. Frankly, the location shouldn't really matter much, as long as they're in range. I'll just put 4 down to make sure that we have tons of water. There we go. It shows some algae that is in range, and it shows 4 water collectors. I might actually put a storage up here. Yeah, let me do that if I have the materials on me right now. Fill it up with some more water. So the storage is full of water. All the water collectors are filled with water. Go there. I'll show that to you so you know I'm not playing any tricks or anything. There we go. And you can also look at my terraformation index in case you think there's like suspicious gaps in the recording. Alright, so that is completely filled with water. We have one tier 2 algae generator, which is in range. You can see that here. We can see the water collectors. There's apparently some larvae sitting around somewhere. And I put down a shredder, because what we're going to do is we're going to create bacteria samples, and when this is full, I'm going to put them in my bag and I will shred them to make sure that there's enough space for production to resume and continue. So, if the algae generator is working as intended, and there's no glitch in the game, then we would expect for this autocrafter to keep producing bacteria samples. There might be a little bit of lag or a gap in between as we run out of algae, or I don't think we're going to run out of water. I think water keeps up faster than the algae. We'll see. But the moment we run out of water, we can wait until the water collectors would have produced more water, and then it would resume production, and we can see that. So we're going to give this a try. This is, like I said, with one algae generator. It has been sitting here for a while, and also we know from my previous video that the algae generator doesn't even need to have fully grown algae. The autocrafter sees also apparently the sproutlings or the seedlings, whatever you want to call it, before we even see that it's fully grown. So the moment you put an algae generator down, the autocrafter immediately sees some algae already in place. Right now it gives me the impression that it only sees 4. might not be a correct number, so we might only be able to craft 1 bacteria sample, seeing that a bacteria sample requires 3 algae and 3 water. But we definitely have enough water to at least get some good production going, so... Well, it's terraformation index 19.72, and I'll just turn it on, I guess. Where are we at? Bacteria sample. It still shows 4, but that might not be accurate. Well, still producing. And it stopped. We'll just wait. So you see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my bags. Let's see if water was the reason. No, we have plenty of water. Now let's click on the autocrafter again. Now suddenly it shows these 2 algae, which is not sufficient. But again, this might not be accurate. And now we're at 19.74 terraformation index. And you would say, well, let's just wait for the algae to regrow. So I'm not sure if I should actually really sit here and wait. If I should make sure I have enough food and drink on me, but it's not doing anything. So I don't mind waiting a little bit longer. I mean, alright. I didn't want to leave the area in case people were suspicious of me rigging the experiment, but let's see. No, it just doesn't produce. Alright, we're back. We had to cover for a storm again. Let's see if anything happened here in the meantime. No, nothing has regrown. It's 19.86 TTI. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put more algae generators down. Oh, let me turn this off first, because it will immediately start producing. So you see there's only 1 available right now. Well, it sees 1 somewhere. Let's see, should I really plop it in the corner or in the... Let's plop it kind of here. Alright, so that's 2 more. And now you can see how much algae the autocrafter is already seeing before it's even... Because if we dive... See that? We don't see any. We might see 1. That 1 that might be... There it is. That's 1. I'm going to leave that be, actually. But yeah, you can see that the autocrafter... You clearly see algae before it's fully grown. Alright, so let's get back up here. Let's check on the water supply. That's fine. That is full. That is full. That's full. Well, it's not completely full. Now it is. And that is full. Alright. I will simply wait until all that algae is fully grown. One way to do that is for me to quickly reload the game. That should then give us immediately fully grown algae. It's going to reset all the generators, by the way, so it will probably see. Save. Exit the main menu. Play. Load. Let's see if that actually worked that way. Now you can see some stuff growing here, but not everything is fully grown yet. Ah, you see the small one, so it starts growing now. Okay. Alright, let's get back up there. Let's see how many the autocrafter sees. That's quite a bit, right? Alright. So now we have 3 algae generators, tier 2. And we're going to create bacteria samples again. The date is 19.92 TTI. We first drink a little bit, eat a little bit. Water, we have plenty of water, and I can start shredding as long as production keeps going. We probably have to, because I expect that it's probably going to create a lot more bacteria samples than before. We only have 1 generator, and it sees a lot more algae right now. So let's get going. I'll just immediately take them out. Alright, I'm actually going to speed this part up. This is me in post-editing because it takes really a long time. I also have included chapters in here, so if you want to see the conclusion of my experiment, you can click on that chapter. But yeah, otherwise this would take 40 minutes or something, because it's going to take that long. But either way, enjoy it. And again, this is not an accurate depiction of how much algae there really is. Alright, let me get out of here, put it in the shredder. Still producing. Still shows a lot of algae. It might actually run out of water before. Yeah, we ran out of water. So that should automatically pick up then. What I can do is go to my base, pick up some more water, put it in the storage. It should be producing now. Yep, it's producing. You can see the algae going down now. Actually, I can get some water from here. Of course, I could recycle them for the water, but it's just too much hassle right now. But you can see how the production went up tremendously from 3 algae generators instead of 1. Did we run out of water? Okay, we ran out of water again. But this might also be one of the reasons why people might think that it keeps producing forever and that algae is not an issue. We simply don't have the water to keep it up because it produces so much, which I kind of knew from my 4 autocrafters here. I have 4 autocrafters and 6, like I said, I think 6 algae generators. And it produces a crazy amount of stuff. But as long as we keep putting water in, we'll have to wait and see if the algae is really going to keep it up forever. Maybe I should actually recycle this real quick then. Just such a hassle. The water collectors are definitely refilling with water, so sometimes, let me see here, there's another one produced because it had the water. Because the water collectors are refilled with a little bit of water. At some point you would expect the algae to regrow and the production to resume. And that is not the case. So right now it's still producing because it still sees all those initial algae. In my video, if you've seen it, there's an instance where I start producing the fertilizer tier 2, which really confused the crap out of me because at that moment it literally was able to generate 1 algae plant over and over and over again to keep crafting the fertilizer tier 2 because you only need 1 algae for that. But the moment I tried to create, for example, bacteria sample again, it didn't work because there was not enough algae. But then I was able to do 8 or 10 fertilizer tier 2 in a row, so basically using 8 or 10 algae. But again, when I tried to do bacteria sample, that didn't work again. So it's like that one strand of algae, I'm not sure if you can call it that, was constantly regenerating. And my thought process was, well, if that's part of the glitch, because, let's be reasonable, it should regenerate all the algae, of course. But if that was part of the glitch, then, let me put down a whole bunch of algae generators, and if 3 or 4 of those keep glitching that way, or keep regenerating that one strand, we're good to go, right? Now it's 2, and it's done. So at 20.15 TTI, we are finally able to use all the algae that, well, the algae generators, the autocrafter, the system is willing to give us. Because water is not an issue, water will refill, and let's show that again. Yeah, you can see that water just refills. I just had to constantly haul water to keep up with the production. Oh, well, that water is in there. I will just, I'm not going to put that in there because it might actually trigger the autocrafter. Just as we saw when water was refilling, it started producing another bacteria sample. You would expect the same now with the algae generators. Let me clean this mess up, and you can keep looking at the terraformation index. I'm not playing any tricks. I'll just put this whole recording up, because we've seen now how much it really produces, and it's just an insane amount. I have no clue how many bacteria sample it produced until it stopped. Yeah, that was definitely more than 4 or 5 storage lockers, and I think that's the reason why. No offense to anybody, but I think that's why people think that it does work and it keeps going and going and going. If you provide the resources, you keep doing it like I did and like I show in this video, at some point the algae regenerators will stop. The only thing that could potentially happen is that instead of that one glitch that, where I could keep producing that fertilizer tier 2 because it only required 1 algae, and for whatever reason that 1 algae kept generating over and over and over and over again. That maybe, if with a certain setup, you can have 3 or 4 algae that keep generating over and over, and that of course would lead to an endless supply of bacteria samples. In my example here, I used the bacteria samples because it's the fastest way to show that the algae generators will stop. Because if I had done this with fertilizer tier 2, then this probably would be a 2-hour video. If not more, and if there was a glitch, then, so I will definitely say, hey, fertilizer tier 2, I've seen it myself, where it will produce forever, but that is, I think, a glitch within a glitch, to be honest. Yeah, with the bacteria sample, we can see now it stops. So let me go back here again. Because I'm pretty sure that people are going to be like, well, go check now, there might be produce something, and maybe it did. I would be extremely pleasantly surprised, but I don't think that's going to be the case. No, nothing is produced. It just sees those 2 algae just like before. And water, let's check it again. There's now 2 bottles in this one already. Water is never the issue. Alright guys, I did not count them. I have no clue how many bacteria samples we produced with just mere 3 algae generators. It also strengthens my belief that it doesn't really matter too much if it's a fully automated process, because it produces so much that, well, what on earth are you going to need it for? to be honest, if you want to reset this all and you say, well, I could use some more bacteria samples, then just log out of the game and log back into the game, and it will immediately start producing, because all the algae generators will reset. Yeah, the autocrafter will then immediately see a whole new boatload of algae. But yeah, you can see it's if you want to, I can wait a little bit longer, show another terraformation index, fly around a little bit, but it's just it's not going to do anything, because with those 3 algae generators, we all know that by now it should have generated another algae or 2 and should have resumed production. Alright, so I'm not saying that whoever says that it will produce forever is wrong. I think I've shown sufficiently that the algae generators are glitched. Am I saying that it is possible to produce forever? I think it might be possible if somehow you have a setup with multiple generators that for whatever reason at some point, even though it's clearly obvious that they are generating less and less and less and less algae, that at some point they somehow glitch and keep regenerating that one single algae times 3 or 4. I see that possibility. The problem is also in my algae farm, where I have a lot more algae generators, and I'm actually going to put some more down, build a whole bunch of storage. I've never been able to completely run it to the point where I ran out of algae anymore. I did it in my video a little bit, but the storages are completely full, so yeah, it really doesn't matter if it's automated or not. It produces so much, it should be enough to play weeks with the game. Alright guys, I know this might have been a very boring video to a lot of people, but I figured I would do this just in one go. I'm not sure how much I'm going to edit out of this, to be honest, but either way, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys will be there next time to see what we discover then. Bye bye.